Hey everyone, today we're going to be making some chicken noodle soup, as well as a quick stir fry of veggies to go with it. First I'm going to get started with putting out these chicken bones and trimmings I have from a full chicken that I've been working with. I'm going to salt those and then get those in the oven at 450. Just roast them for about 45-50 minutes to get some color on them. I'm going to be making my own chicken stock here. If you get your own chicken stock from the store, you can zhuzh it up with the bell pepper and celery, as well as the other seasonings besides the chicken, to give it extra flavor instead and reduce the amount of time that you're working on this stock. I'm going to cut up this bell pepper. Don't have to be too deliberate with it, just get it into thin slices. And the same goes for the celery. Cut it up, wash it, get it into small pieces. I'm gonna cut this onion in half, thin slices as well. You could leave the skin on. I'm just doing it so that the stock is clear, so to speak. And the same thing goes for this garlic that I'm about to crush. You could leave the skins on, but I'm going to take them off here. The skin just leaves extra particulates in the stock that you would have to strain out afterwards. Gonna turn this up to about a medium-high heat on the stock pot and just sweat these. I don't want too much color on these onions and bell peppers. A lot of people use carrots. I didn't have any. A lot of this recipe is just kind of what I have in the kitchen and my fridge. Gonna salt these. That's gonna help get that moisture out. Gonna add garlic powder and onion powder, give that extra punch of those on top of both the onions and the garlic already going in. Once those have sweated down, I'm going to add in my garlic and celery. Give that a quick stir to mix everything up, get it going. Gonna add in about 2.5 tablespoons of peppercorns here. I should have let this chicken trimmings roast longer, get some extra color, extra browning on there, but working on a little bit of a backstop in time, so need to get going. Gonna add everything in. And then I'm going to take any of the excess fat and oil that's on the pan and add that in as well. Putting in about a cup of white wine vinegar here. This will bring some acidity to it. And then I'm just going to fill this up with water. Just want to make sure that all of the chicken is covered by the water pretty much. Last thing I'm going to add in is my rosemary and thyme. About 2 times as much thyme to your rosemary to sort of balance out that rosemary. And then I have some dried tarragon I'm putting in. If you have fresh tarragon, use that. And then bay leaves for that sort of extra umami that brings in to the stock. Gonna add in just a little bit of MSG. That helps bring the chicken flavor out. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil. Once it gets to that boil, I'm gonna turn it down to a simmer and start skimming off some of this fat and oil as well as any other yucky stuff that comes to the top. I'm not trying to mix it too much because that will incorporate that into the stock itself. I'm going to do this about every 30 minutes or so. I'm going to keep this on a simmer for about 3-4 hours. For the last 30 minutes, I am going to turn off the heat and add in that parsley so that the parsley doesn't break down into the stock. Here I'm turning off the heat. I'm just going to grab that parsley after I take off some of this stuff on the top. I'm going to sort of just crush the parsley in my hands, put that in, and then push it down and let it rest. This gets the parsley flavor in there without too much of that parsley breaking down and just sort of becoming a part of the stock rather than having it just the flavor be there with like the extra added things that you need to try and get out when we strain it. As I said before, cover it, let it sit for about 30 minutes. Now we're going to strain this out. First I'm going to go in with my spider, get out any of these large chunks before I go at it, pick it up, and fully take it out. You could make the stock beforehand in the weekend and then just save it for a weeknight, because all I'm going to do after this is make the pasta and cook the chicken and heat up the stock, throw everything together real quick and easy once you have the stock done. I'm going to put this in the fridge, let it rest. If you have the time, let it rest overnight, and then you can, any solids that form at the top, you can take out, and there'll be less fat in this. I'm going to prep these chicken wings now to dry out the skin. You don't have to do this. This is just because I have these. I'm going to salt them, put some baking soda on them. That helps get extra crispiness when we eventually put these in the oven. And then any seasoning you want. I'm doing smoked paprika here. I'm just going to get this all incorporated and then into the fridge to air dry. Now we're here towards the night. I'm taking out my chicken thighs as well as any other dark meat from that chicken that I butchered. I'm going to dry it out. Get this set up on my tray. Now we're going to put some olive oil on there. I'm just using enough to coat it. And very, small seasoning, salt and pepper. Gonna put our chicken wings on. I would have liked these to dry out more so that it's crispier. I have started boiling my water because by the time the chicken is done, the soup will be ready for it to go in. I'm not cooking the pasta in the stock that I made because I have so little of it. And it will also just help ensure that when we do put the noodles in, that they're sort of the right consistency. Follow whatever directions is on there for your pasta. I'm going to dice up a bell pepper to put in the soup as well. Adds an extra color pop and a bit of sweetness. I will say with the stock, when you're making it, make sure to test the flavor for salt. I did add about probably 4 or 5 pinches of salt when I did make that stock. If you didn't do that before, when you do heat up the stock now, check out the flavor and add salt if needed. For our stir fry, I'm just going to get these mushrooms sliced up and ready while this pasta cooks. At 10 minutes here, I'm going to flip over these chicken wings so that both sides get crispy. I'm going to strain this pasta and just let it sit. And then I'm going to get this stock heated up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sweat these bell peppers out just a little bit. Get them a little bit softer so that we're not biting into hard chunks when we're eating our soup. This is kind of the consistency you're looking for there. A little bit soft, and you can see the color is dulled a little bit. Gonna put our stock in and just warm that up. Just gonna get this green onion sliced up. We're gonna use the whites in the stock as well. That brings color and a little bit of sort of sharp bite whenever you get a piece of that. We're going to let this warm up for a bit with the top on. And then, not when it's boiling or simmering, just sort of a warm middle ground. You're going to turn that heat off, add the pasta in, move it off to the side, let it rest. With the cover on. That'll help it stay warm until it's time to eat. Next, we're just going to get a pan out. I'm going to put these mushrooms in there. We're going to cook these down without anything in there so that they brown nicely. Crush my garlic up. We're going to thinly slice this. Nothing too serious. I just want those extra bits in there so that you get a pop of garlic sometimes whenever you get a bite. Adding in our green beans. I've just washed these. And you can see that I added those in once those mushrooms had browned nicely. Now that those mushrooms have browned, we're going to add in that butter and the garlic. We're just going to mix this up, let it go for about 3-4 minutes. Sort of soften up the green beans. Our chicken's done, we're going to let it rest. I've moved the chicken wings off to the side to keep them warm in my microwave. And all we're going to do is dice up these chicken thighs, put them in there, and plate it. I really like how this turned out. The chicken had its own flavor to it, and it wasn't stringy like sometimes you get when you use chicken breasts. And that stock was so flavorful. Don't worry, I know I don't put the greens from the green onion here now. I did put it on afterwards. Just a little garnish with that chicken wing. I know my wife loves that. Sort of something to do while you're eating. And then some extra veggies. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, make sure to comment down below. If you want to see something for me to make, leave that in the comments as well. Yeah.